Double Platinum Senior Vice President Tishina Pettiford, and I want to welcome you into my life. This is the house that I grew up in. When I was in middle school, my mom purchased this house, and all throughout high school as well as college, this is where I lived. It was the house where I had my first business, and I would sell snow cones to all my friends in the neighborhood. The funny thing is, you know, a lot of times we have a hard time getting friends and family members involved in the business, and the crazy thing is I had a lot of friends that lived on my street, and a lot of them actually still involved in the business. So Courtney Lynch, one of my SVPs, lives right down the street. Nicole Myers, one of my national directors, Miss Monique Montgomery, another national director, and Miss Mel Lynch, another national director in my business. We all lived on the same street. So, you know, they came around after I hit platinum, so you just never know when your friends will come into the business.
My name is Courtney Lynch, and I'm a Senior Vice President in 5 Links, and Tishina is a friend of mine since high school, and she's also the Double Platinum Senior Vice President that introduced me to the business.
Tishina was a very energetic child growing up. She was always moving around, always doing something, always had something going on where she was either playing with her toys or wanting to go over her friends' homes, over their houses. She was a very energetic child.
In high school, I remember her being a very fun person. She was always laughing, you know, very talkative. We were actually cheerleaders together. She hates for me to tell that to people. But, you know, from what I remember, she was just someone that was a lot of fun, and she was a nice girl.
Okay, now we're in front of my first home that I ever purchased. I purchased this home with my husband at the time. This is also the home that I got introduced to 5 Links, and Lisa Nicole Cloud was my neighbor. She lived right over there. This is the home that I actually recruited Stan and Sharice in. I was living here, so a lot of people think that you have to live in a big house and drive a nice car. I was driving a minivan. And look at where they are today. So obviously, you know, you don't need all of those things to recruit someone great into your business. This is also the home that I believe was just like, it was the beginning. It was where I started to feel like, you know what, I remember like all the dreams and things that I started to have when I was living in this home, and things just wanting so much more. That's also the window up at the top where my son was 4 at the time, and I just remember sitting like in this parking lot, sitting in my car and watching him cry as, like, you know, I'm driving away to go to a meeting. So there's a lot of memories in this home because it's my first, and it's like the beginning.
When she first started with the 5 Links business, it was not good for me. I would call her all the time and say, hello, how you doing? How are the kids? Well, how's Josh? It was just Josh at the time. And she would be, Mom, can you give me some leads? Can you give me your friends' phone numbers? Can you call this person for me? And I said, I wanted to find out how Josh is doing today. Well, okay, but can you do this? I mean, I just couldn't reach her. I would call her every day and I couldn't reach her. And once I did get her, she wanted to talk about 5 Links, 5 Links, 5 Links, 5 Links. It got to the point where I stopped calling as much because I didn't want to hear about 5 Links every single time I called.
I remember when our kids were probably about 4 years old, she gave me a call, and she was really excited about this new business venture that she was undertaking, and she wanted me to take a look at the business. And it's funny because I was one of those people that said I was going to come out time and time again, and I never showed up.
I'm standing out in the snow, and I wanted to show you guys my second home. This is the house that I purchased, not because 5 Links was doing well at the time. This is the house I got because my husband's business was doing really good. And it's everything that I wanted. It had like the double staircases. It's a 9,000 square foot home. It has the marble floors when you first come in. It's a beautiful, beautiful home. And it just was, of course, like every time something upgrades in your life, more people want to do the business. But this wasn't the house that I got because of 5 Links. However, if 5 Links wasn't in the picture, I would have lost this home. And so, but it was like, I thought it was my dream home at the time. It just goes to show you that, you know, no matter what you believe you want, the dreams can get bigger, you can achieve more, and you can do more.
Fast forward 3.5 years later, I was actually the one contacting Tishina, very interested in her business. For me, I was tired of the glass ceilings, and I looked and saw that she was having a lot of success on Facebook, and so I contacted her, and I was amazed at the transformation that had taken place with her.
One of the things about 5 Links, I think, is that it has taught her a lot, and it has helped her become a much better person in life, you know, and she can come from different angles. And I know she knows, one of the things I think she does really great is I think she knows how to strategically place different things in her life to make it work for her.
You know, I was used to seeing the mom, you know, carrying around the stroller and the car seat, and you know, the teacher at the time, she was a school teacher, and now she was transformed into this businesswoman who was completely different. She was really confident, she was aggressive, she was someone that I honestly didn't recognize. A lot of the traits that I remembered about Tishina were no longer there. She seemed like a really tough as nails boss lady.
I believe I'm a regular person. I do a lot of things that's very normal. You know, I get up throughout my day and you know, I make my bed, I get dressed. For me, this is when I'm most comfortable. So I figured I'd give it to you just like any other day. Now, I live in my mansion and I have 6 bedrooms. I have 11 bathrooms, have 7 fireplaces. I have 5 refrigerators, 5 dishwashers. I have a ordinary life, I believe. I wake up and I fluff my pillow. I put my sweats on. I listen to my motivational CDs or, you know, YouTube clips. And, you know, I go and I get dressed. Closet's just a little bit bigger these days. I go throughout my day, you know, helping my kids get dressed in the morning. And then I make my phone calls, just like most leaders. I get on the call and, you know, we talk about what's our strategies, what's the next step. You know, I make sure I do my kids' homework at the end of the day.
I'm Carla Shaw, National Director under Tishina Pettiford, Double Platinum Senior Vice President. I've been in the business since 2010. A platinum is going to hold you accountable for everything that you're doing. I remember when I first started in the business and I was working with Tishina. And one of the things that she told me that I needed to do was I needed to be at a Super Saturday event that one of her mentors was going to be at. What I explained to Tishina is that my daughter had her very first softball game and I wanted to be at the softball game. I needed to be there because I needed to take her. And what Tishina let me know is that I needed to get somebody else to take her. I told Tishina, I was like, well, you know, really there's no one else but my husband and I. My husband has a business, so he wasn't going to be able to do it because he'd be working his business. And what she let me know is that, well, I just have to miss the softball game. One of the things she explained to me at that time is that I had to miss the softball game then so that I could be at all the other softball games. This was some very valuable information that was going to be presented at the Super Saturday training, and I needed to be there to get that information. So I missed the softball game. My husband was able to take my daughter, and I went and I got the training that I needed to get. And not only did I show up, but I also brought 2 of my business partners with me to get that training.
Sometimes I wake up and I look around the house and I'm thinking, are we still here? You know, it's a gorgeous home. It's decorated really, really nice. And God has just truly, truly blessed us tremendously. Tishina has provided a really nice house here for the kids.
This is a mansion and it's way bigger. It's a lot nicer and my mom's office is bigger and my room's bigger and well, we're the same size. And my mom's closet is ginormous and her room's ginormous and she has a bigger shower. And
So it's bigger.
Yep, and the kitchen's more nicer. We buy the houses, go on trips, buy food and toys and stuff that we need to live.
She forgot to tell you about that I bought the big house for her because it had the other part where, you know, it had 2 extra rooms, it had a kitchen, had a basement, it had a living area, and ask her how many times she goes over there.
I love the fact that the house is there, that I can go over there whenever I get ready, or if I decide that I just want to get away for a break. But they'll find me, and no matter where I go, they'll find me.
Well, I think what this does is it gives you something that money can't buy, and it gives you freedom. And freedom to me is not money. Freedom to me is freedom of choice. When you can choose, like, that's what today feels like. Today feels like I can make a good decision. I can decide and say, you know what, this is where I want to go tomorrow. I can pick up and I can just go. It's a good thing to say, you know what, this is what I want to create, and I can create it because I have the funds to do it. Or to say, you know what, I want to take a break because I choose to take a break. And that's a great feeling when you can choose. I believe that's ultimately like that's freedom. And you know, money allows you to have that.
You got me looking at you, and now you're looking at me.